A quick guide into intermittent fasting. What is it? How can you do it? And is it for you? Hi guys, Cherian Kappen here, founder of Ytalife, and today let's take a quick dive into what intermittent fasting is. Now, fasting is very different from starvation in one very crucial way. That is your choice and control. Fasting is the voluntary abstinence from food, could be because of spiritual reasons or health reasons or for any other reason. So this is how it's extremely different from starvation. Now, fasting is something human beings have been doing since the dawn of mankind. It's a very natural phenomenon. The early men and women, the hunter-gatherers, they all fasted. Why? Well, because you did not have your supermarkets and restaurants at that time. Jokes aside, our ancestors survived periods of famine through fasting. You see, every animal stores body fat. This is your reserve energy, and when you fast, your body starts using this as energy. Like I said, it's a very natural process. Now, if we didn't have this reserve energy, and if we couldn't survive periods of famine and hunger, well, then we wouldn't have survived as a species. Now, what are the different kinds of fasting? Well, if you search on Google or even on YouTube, you'll find there's something called the juice fasting, there's water fasting, dry fasting, prolonged fasting, and the most common, intermittent fasting. Now, I don't acknowledge juice fasting as a form of fasting because, well, you're taking in calories and it's also a lot of fructose, so that's not really fasting. That being said, intermittent fasting is the most common thing that we've all heard of. Now, the term intermittent fasting simply means that you fast for a period of time, then you have your normal eating, and then you fast again. Technically, we all fast when we sleep at night. Well, most of us. Now, there's no best way of fasting, and it's highly variable from one individual to another. You can fast for 12 hours a day, 14, 16, 18. You can have a one-day fast, 2-3 days. We have done a 3-day fast at Ytalife. We've done a 7-day fast as well. It was very challenging, but it was amazing post that. So it's a highly subjective process. If you think fasting is for you and can work in your lifestyle, it's something that is highly recommended. Now to the health benefits of fasting. Now, fasting has been shown to improve mental clarity and concentration. It has also been shown to improve body fat loss through the process of ketosis. You see, when you fast, your body slowly shifts into the state of ketosis depending on how fat adapted you are. Fasting can also lower your blood sugar levels and improve insulin sensitivity. Now, fasting can also increase energy levels, and it's also been shown to potentially reduce the chances of Alzheimer's disease. Fasting can slow down the process of aging, decrease inflammation, and a lot more. Now, fasting is not a diet. In a diet, you're told what to eat, how to eat, etc. In fasting, it's all about when you eat. So it's a time-dependent variable, and it's absolutely free. Now let's take an idea from the evolutionary perspective. You see, human beings, we hunter-gatherers, during the time of the early men, we didn't always have access to food like we do right now. So when we did have food, we consumed a lot, and a lot of it must have been stored as body fat. Why did this get stored as body fat? Well, when the times of, let's say, winter and hunger and famine comes, even though we did not have food, our body was able to use this reserve energy in the form of body fat, and this is what let us survive. Now imagine if we started burning muscle, because this is one of the main concerns that a lot of people have about fasting and intermittent fasting. Will I start burning muscle? Now imagine our ancestors, the early men and women. Imagine if they started burning muscle when they were fasting and not body fat. Do you think they would have survived as a species? Muscles are always preserved once you get into the state of ketosis, because that is the most important thing you need for survival, to move and to hunt and to gather. The body fat, on the other hand, is stored as a reserve energy, and this gets used as the energy while you fast. So your muscle mass is actually preserved when there's a lot of ketones flowing in your body, and even if you do lose muscle mass, it's very minimal. And if you weigh in the advantages of fasting and the benefits that it gives you versus the minimal amount of muscle that you may lose, fasting is way superior. Now, is fasting for you? First, let me start with who it's not for. If you're malnourished, underweight, etc., you shouldn't try fasting. If you're under the age of 18, you should probably not do fasting. if you're pregnant or if you're a breastfeeding mother, fasting is probably not the best idea right now. If you have gout or you're under some medication, you should always consult your physician. And last but not least, if you have type 1 or type 2 diabetes and you're taking insulin or any other form of diabetes medication, you should do fasting only under the supervision of your physician. So is fasting for you? Well, it depends. See, we have athletic clients that don't practice intermittent fasting, but they fast once in 3 months for about 2 to 3 days. So they have like 6 meals a day because, well, they're an athlete and they perform a lot of vigorous exercises throughout the day. Now, our other clients, the people who have a sedentary lifestyle, relatively speaking, intermittent fasting has been doing wonders to them. They've been able to lose weight and keep it off, provided you are having nutritious food while you eat, of course. And that has helped them a lot. That's helped them work better, have more focus and mental clarity as well. Now, fasting has a lot of other benefits on the cellular level too. We'll get to that in the future videos. As always, stay informed and stay aware so that you can live a life without limitations. Remember guys, health is your biggest asset. Stay aware about all these things so that you have control over your health. This is Ytalife.